What's up everyone, China Cycling here. A few videos back I showed you the Windspace G2 and like 5 different ways to build it up, but I noticed in the comment sections most of y'all were complaining that you cannot get your hands on any group sets these days. So today I have for you this. This is a complete gravel build that you can build with parts available today, and the best thing about it is this complete build costs less than $2,000 US. Let's take a look. So let's take a look at the bike we have here. So the bike is built around the Windspace G2 gravel frame set. This is a size S in emerald green. And this frame set retails for $1,280 US, including free shipping. But as always, if you use China Cycling 10 at discount, you get 10% off of that. I went into huge depth about this frame in the last video, so link to that up here somewhere. So getting the frame from Windspace is fairly straightforward, but you're gonna need some parts for it, right? So for the wheels on this build, if you're gonna keep things under that $2,000 budget, you're gonna be looking at some aluminum wheels. So fortunately with this frame, you've got the choice of either 700C road wheels, 29er mountain bike wheels, or 27.5 650B mountain bike wheels. They're all gonna work. So getting your hands on some wheels should be easy because you've got that much choice. Check out secondhand wheels in your area. You can pick up some really nice aluminum wheels secondhand for a very good price. Of course, if you want to stretch the budget a little bit and get a lot more performance out of the bike, you're going to be looking at carbon wheels. Obviously, Luan, Windspace's sister brand, they have their Rapid wheels, super light gravel wheels in 650B or 700C. But for this, to keep it budget and just to let you guys know how low you can go, I'm using the aluminum version of Luan's gravel wheel here. So yeah, pretty heavy wheel, but super cheap. This wheel doesn't actually retail overseas because the shipping on it would probably be more than the wheels itself. So yeah, find a secondhand set of wheels in your area. You can probably find a super good set of secondhand aluminum wheels for like 150 bucks. And so yeah, we'll add that to our running cost so far. Now, everyone knows these days getting your hands on a Shimano GRX group set or a SRAM gravel group set is a nightmare. But fear not, a quick trip to AliExpress and you can get your hands on a rather tasty Sensar group set. This is the SRX Pro 11-speed gravel group set. I've used this group set a lot. I used it on my titanium build from Waltley, and there's plenty of reviews out there on this group set, so go nuts, go look at that. I think State Bicycles use a rebadged version of it on their gravel bikes, so, you know, not bad. This group set actually only includes 3 pieces, the front shifters, left and right, and the rear mech. Obviously, if you're looking at a full GRX, Shimano, or SRAM group set, you get a lot more than that. So we're gonna have to find all these other parts. Now, all of these components, the crankset, the chainring, the cassette, the brakes, the discs, etc. You can go to AliExpress and find them all in stock today. Or if you want to save the legwork, you can actually get in touch with Windspace. They have a bike build kit for this bike, which basically includes all the things that you need. So yeah, crankset, cassette, handlebars, stem, basically everything you need to build the bike apart from the wheels, the frame, and tires and pedals. But everything else that you see here, more or less, is in that kit. And that kit retails for $550 US. Again, you can still get 10% off of that, so we'll put that on our total here. So tire choice is going to vary a lot depending on what type of gravel you're going to be riding, or if you're going to be just using it as an all-road bike or whatever. And so there's no tires in the kit, but I think we've got about $150 US left in our $2,000 budget, so more than enough to get your hands on a very, very good set of tires. For this particular build, we went super cheap. I think these Compass Saturn ring tires with tubes were like $30 US or something. So and yeah, they've been holding up fine. They're pretty grippy off-road, a bit heavy, but no tubeless, but you know, 30 US dollars. So I think we've got about 120 US dollars left in our budget. So that's enough for small things like, pedals, spare tubes, bike bags, beer, all the essential gravel equipment. This particular bike here, I just weighed it with these heavy flat pedals, and it was 8.8 kilograms like this. So I'm guessing what, like 8.5 kilograms without pedals. 8.5 kilograms is pretty impressive considering these tank wheels. I think these wheels are like 1.8 kilos, and these tank tires, I think, are probably a kilo of tire as well. So it's pretty light, but let's go see how it rides. So how does it ride? At the time of filming this video, there's a bit of a semi-lockdown in Xiamen. You're free to go out of the house, but most of the villages are closed off and only open for access. And so you can only really get into the village if you live there. And as such, it's pretty hard to find a nice gravelly place to go riding. But we'll have to stick on these rather boring roads for today. But before today, off camera, I've ridden this bike quite a lot. I've also done lots of shooting for Windspace of my friend James hooning around on this very bike. And the one thing that's immediately obvious when you look at his face is just how much fun this bike is. I mean, if you've never tried gravel, you're definitely missing out. I mean, sure, you've ridden road and maybe you've ridden mountain bikes and you can kind of imagine that it's somewhere in the middle, but I don't know, there's something disproportionately fun about taking your drop bar bike off-road and having your back tire sliding all over the place but still feeling like you're riding your road bike. It's definitely good fun, worth a try. So this particular budget version of the bike, how does it differ to a more premium build? In my last video you saw the 5 different builds we did, and we built one of these up with SRAM Axis, like a mullet setup, with a SRAM Eagle mountain bike rear derailleur, hydraulic brakes, wireless shifting, a loud fork, like the works. Now that build cost like twice what this build costs. So that's even if you can find any of the components in stock. The 2 builds are actually pretty similar in weight though, because the premium build has much better wheels, but that loud fork also adds some weight, so they kind of balance each other out a bit. And as such, this bike feels pretty nimble, like out on the roads, 8.5 kilograms. It's not super light, but these days, if you go into a shop and spend 2,000 US dollars on a disc brake road bike, it's probably going to be around 8.5 kilograms. So to get that weight with these absolute fat tires on it, I think is really quite impressive. For the frame itself, obviously your frame is a huge part of your overall bike performance. You guys know I work for Windspace. Of course, I'm going to tell you this is the best frame in the world, but also as a part of my job for Windspace, I get in touch with the reviewers, send them out and say, hey, say what you want about this frame. And so yeah, go on YouTube and go watch all the reviews you can. But there are 2 very good reviews on this frame that exist out there that I've seen. One by The Bike Source, shout out to my guy Nolan, super clever guy, PhD, brain whiz. He loves his frame, don't take my word for it, go check out his video. And Spindat as well. Yeah, Spindat, he's got a load of gravel experience and he's been hooning around on his blue one, and also liked it. So I'll try to remember to put links to those 2 reviews in the description below. So don't trust me that the frame set is amazing. Go watch those 2 videos after this video, of course. And maybe the next part about your bike performance people will think about is the group set. Now the Sensor SRX, there's lots of reviews on it out there, but shifting is great. Like there's nothing to worry about shifting. Shifting on this thing, you shift, it shifts. Like what more do you want? You can go really big on the cassette in the back. I think officially it's only 40 something, but we've got 50 cassettes on a bunch of these and they work fine. This particular one I think is an 11 to 42 or an 11 to 46. It's a pretty heavy cassette, but super huge wide range of gears, obviously. The one thing about the rear mech is there is no clutch in it, so you will get a bit of chain slap going on. I've used this particular rear mech on 4 of my bikes, and so it has a spring in there. You can adjust the spring. If you wind the spring to max, it takes out almost all of the chain slap. Yeah, I've got this on 4 of my bikes, including my mullet bike, which I ride on absolutely every terrain, and I think I've had like 1 chain drop in the thousands of kilometers I've got on it so far. But of course, every bike has its pros and cons, and especially at this price point, you cannot expect miracles. I think the biggest downfall of this bike is definitely the braking. Like, cable disc brakes just cannot compare to hydraulic disc brakes. In terms of absolute stopping power, I'm not going to say it's night and day, but it's obvious to anyone who's ridden hydraulic brakes before. You get on this and you're like, whoa, I have to squeeze these hard. Now, don't get me wrong, when you do squeeze it hard, it does stop, and you can lock up the rear and do those fat skids that everyone loves, but you really do have to apply some pressure when squeezing the brake. Unlike hydraulic brakes where you can almost brake with your little finger and it'll lock up. If you're thinking about trying cable actuated hydraulic brakes, in my opinion, don't bother. I think just normal cable actuated brakes are better. Everyone's internet friend, Trace Velo, he disagrees with me. He did a video recently comparing all these different cable disc brakes. Again, link to that or link up here. Go check that one out because your experience may vary. The only thing I can think of the difference between me and him is like he's the Jolly Green Giant and I'm one of the Seven Dwarfs. So maybe my hands just don't have the braking power that his do. But for me, the best braking experience I've had is just with normal, fully mechanical disc brakes. They were out the box, not much stopping power, but after they got bedded in, they were good. Bedding in for me meant I took it on a ride on a really sandy, gritty road in the rain. It all got jammed in there, everything got more brushed off and abrased, and the next day after a good clean, the bike stopped amazing. Although the one exception to the rule that I did find is the TRP cable actuated hydraulic brakes, the absolutely huge ones. I think they're called the TRP Sphere or Sphere Road or something. Those things are amazing, like almost as good as fully hydraulic brakes, but they're huge, they're heavy, and they're very expensive. And maybe they're out of stock everywhere too, who knows. But maybe I think the best thing about this particular build is how future-proof it is. You've got this awesome bike frame that's compatible with everything because there's nothing proprietary on it. And in the future, when Shimano, SRAM, and whoever else get back on top of their production and group sets come back and prices come down, you've got this awesome platform just waiting for you to upgrade. Take out the shifters and the brakes and swap them for a hydraulic one and you're good. That's basically what I did on my personal G2 gravel mullet build. Like, I swapped out the brakes for SRAM Force 1x hydraulics and it still works with this rear mech fine, and it totally changes the bike. And then a few months down the road, when you got some more money from some wheels, change out your aluminium wheels for some carbon wheels, and you'll have a really competitive gravel bike. Like I say, that's basically what mine is, and mine's down to like 7.4 kilos, and it's absolutely loads of fun. Full review of my personal G2 gravel coming soon. I say soon, you guys know what I'm like. But I love that bike. Awesome. So there you have it, a gravel bike that you can order today. It will appear at your door. You'll have loads of fun building it up. Again, my brainiac man, Nolan, over at the Bike Source, he has a complete guide, maybe not a complete guide, but a guide of how to build up your own G2 gravel, which is super useful. Link to that down below. Go give him some love. Super good guy, great channel. I also think just because of the relatively low price, like less than 2,000 bucks, it's a great way to get your feet wet, see if you like gravel or not. If you don't like it, you can pass the bike on, sell it on without losing too much money. These days everyone's looking for a bike, you're not gonna miss out. But if you do like gravel, like I say, you've got a platform that you can expand and make better in the future. So you guys let me know in the comments down below if you have any particular questions about this build or which of the other builds you want to see next. There's still 4 of them to go over. But I thought I'd do this one first today because, like I say, I saw in the comments lots of you saying you couldn't get your hands on the stuff, so this is the one that you can get your hands on today. I'm going to go ride my own G2 somewhere. I've also got a very tasty seat post in. A split seat post that's supposed to add more compliance. I'm going to put that on my G2 and review of that coming soon too. It's 150 grams. It's like $70 US or something. And obviously it's from a Chinese brand. So look forward to that one too. If you've made it this far in the video, make sure you hit like down below. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing, man? Come on, make that red button gray. And I'll see you in the next video. China cycling out.